Olá, queridos! Bem-vindos ao meu canal do YouTube e bem-vindos ao meu segundo vídeo. Hoje vamos falar porque estou realmente fazendo esta viagem e quais equipamentos eu uso para isso. Just kidding! I don't speak Portuguese. You have no idea how many takes it took me to get that straight. Welcome back to Portugal. Yes, I'm still here. More on that later. Okay, let's get going. So in this video I would like to show you all my stuff that I'm dragging around with me the whole time. What I actually need on the roads. I would like to give you an overview of my beautiful bike. And I will show you a sneak peek of what to expect in the next coming weeks, what routes I'm planning to take, and I will talk a little bit more about why I'm doing this whole thing. If I don't get stuck here, because it's pretty easy to get stuck here. I wanted to be on the road already. I've been in this place for almost 6 weeks now. Some friends of mine let me live at their place. They live in a remote place without connection to the electricity and water network. You live a very simple life here. As long as they are not here, I have to take care of a few things. One of which is water. We need the water to shower and to water the plants. And the only water that we have here in the land is being collected by rain, but since it didn't rain in a few weeks, we have to collect the water ourselves. There's a well down there in the valley. I'm gonna try to drive there by car. This is gonna be very interesting and I'm a bit afraid. I had to drive a pretty steep and narrow path to get to the well in the valley. What the fuck? I'm not a big fan of driving cars in general, but this was special. This whole experience makes me realize again what a luxury my whole life has been. It reminds me of how many things we take for granted that most people in this world have to work very hard for. I'm curious to see how much this whole journey will change me and the way I see the world. By the way, Christoph and Titi, thanks so much again. Your plants are doing fine. Okay, but back to topic. I promised you to give you an overview of my bike equipment, but before we dive in, there are several different styles of traveling by bike. And in recent years, the trend of bikepacking emerged. That means to travel with as little material and as lightweight as possible. For example, one does without a tent or without large supplies of food or cooking gear. That's different for me. I'm doing it the old-fashioned style. That means I have to carry all the stuff that I need with me. In return, I don't put too much strain on my bank account. I can stay on the road longer, and in general, I feel much more independent. Short disclaimer, I am not sponsored by any of the companies mentioned in the following. I have been using the stuff for several years now. I bought everything with my own money, and I just had good experiences with it. Which is not to say that I wouldn't be open for a sponsorship. Looking at you, Roloff, Patria, Ortlieb, anyone? This is pretty much all my stuff. So my tent is the Hilleberg Nalo 2. I use it together with the Hilleberg Nalo 2 footprint. It's a crazy investment. It's a very expensive but also very high quality product. For me it's worth the investment because it makes me feel really safe even in very harsh weather conditions. My sleeping bag is the Cumulus Mysterious Traveler 500. It's an affordable but still high quality sleeping bag. I always use it together with a silk mummy liner. That way all the sweat and dirt of your body doesn't get to the sleeping bag and you can easily wash these. My sleeping pad is a Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm. It never disappointed me, always keeps you very warm. There's just a simple towel, an inflatable pillow, which I can really recommend. For cooking, I use the Trangia. I like that very much. I've been using it also for quite a long time. It burns with alcohol, which you can get pretty much everywhere, and it's very silent. I've got 4 water bottles, a cup, a spork, a knife, a headlamp. I've got my e-reader, my diary, some charger cables, first aid kit, sunglasses. Here's all my electronics, mouse, charger, my laptop, zipper jacket, some long sleeve underpants, some shorts, rain trousers, rain jacket, a very warm down jacket, 2 pairs of shirts, 2 pairs of socks. That's pretty much it. This whole stuff all goes into my bike bags. 2 Ortlieb Sports Roller Classic as front panniers. I have 2 Ortlieb Back Roller Classics as back panniers and 1 Ortlieb Rack Pack. All in all, my bags have a load volume of 161 liters. So with all my equipment, I still have enough space for food and extra water. Pretty much all my stuff. Let's get it on the bike. Fully loaded with food and water, it's quite a weight. I've never measured it, but it feels like between 30 and 40 kilograms. But now to the one thing that I really depend on. I ride a 26-inch randonneur from the German company Patria. I love this bike. For my purposes, it's the perfect travel bike. I prefer the smaller 26-inch frames, since they appear much more sturdy to me. The frame is made of high-quality, flexible chrome molybdenum steel soldered with sleeves, which makes it extremely durable. I like using these road bike handlebars because I can change positions really nicely. I use very sturdy rims by the company Ride. On the front wheel there's a very powerful hub dynamo, SON, for Schmidt's Original Nabendynamo. Germans. As many people, I'm using a Brooks leather saddle. It might not look comfortable, but it surely is. If you treat it right, it adjusts to your individual anatomy. And because people keep asking me how much my butt hurts. With this saddle, the butt is the last thing that hurts me. Usually it's the knees. The heart of this bike is the 14-speed Rohloff Speedhub 500 planetary gear system. It is a legendary transmission that has already brought many bike travelers around the globe without worries. It's basically maintenance-free. You only have to change the oil every 5,000 kilometers, which can easily be done while traveling. Many of the other parts are pretty basic. And that's on purpose, because I like to keep things simple. For example, I try to avoid disc brakes, because if they break and you're in a country where it's hard to get the spare parts, you have a problem. Let's talk about the route that I'm planning to take. Well, bad news. I have no specific goal. And my road planning doesn't go beyond a rough bearing of the direction. However, since I've been thinking about this project, I always saw myself in the vast landscapes of Central Asia, in the steppes of Kazakhstan, going through the Pamir, or maybe even to Mongolia. So you might say, Martin, you're in Portugal. You drove to the wrong direction. To this I say, there is no wrong direction. But yes, I'll have to go back east again. I'm roughly planning to cycle back to Spain until Barcelona. I will probably take a ferry there to Sardinia. It looks like a nice shortcut into the Balkans. You see, this whole journey is not about taking a specific route in a specific time. It's much more about taking whichever route that calls you. And that might change in the meantime. Life is change. The weather changes, political situations change. I will certainly change. I want to let myself drift for the first time in my life. I want to see what life offers me without too much planning. I have always put myself under pressure in the past. Not only in cycling, but in life in general. I always thought that I have to deliver or to fulfill certain expectations, and at some point that pretty much broke me and I developed depression. This whole thing is my way of putting myself back together, of finding my way back to life. And if you are also struggling, I would love to encourage you to do the same. Everybody has dreams. Some people succeed in fulfilling them, and some people try to forget them. If you're struggling in life right now, try to remember your dreams. Try to think about what gives you meaning in life, and what brings you joy. You can do this. When this video goes live, I might already be on the road. Or at least I hope so. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to support me, there's a link in the description. There you can go and you will find out all the steps that you have to take to support this guy. Thank you very much. See you on the road.